So this channel, I usually talk about my investing. I talk about all the stocks that I invest in, what my plan is for the future, but you don't see everything. You just see what I'm investing in. I put a poll out on my YouTube channel, basically asking if you'd like to see my net worth. And this is that video. So I'm going to go through all of my money and talk about where I've got savings, where my money is invested, other things like crypto as well. So yeah. So this is the tracker that I use to track my net worth, basically. Every single month, I put in what my bank balances are, what my investing balance is, what my crypto balance is, all of that stuff. And I do that every single month. So I think I started in January 2022. So you can see, well, I'll show you what my balances were throughout the year. But for now, I'm just going to take you through what it is currently. Starting with my sort of bank accounts, basically. So my Lloyd's bank account at the start of December was sitting at £420. This is like a current account. I don't really use it for anything but getting money into. A few of my standing orders go out of that, or a few of my direct debits go out of that, like my phone payments and stuff. But I don't really use it for anything. I get paid through it, and then I basically transfer most of it out. I also have a Chase account. So actually, before I get to the Chase account, I used to have a Lloyd's savings account. Currently it's sitting at zero. But it used to have like £3,000 in, but I don't use that anymore because it's like 0.1% or something. But now I use Chase. Chase Bank is my bank account. So the main account at the start of this month had £507. That's my spending account, really. I don't use it for anything else other than spending, basically. I have a roundup account, which again is just like you're spending round to the nearest pound, and you make like 5% on that spending. So every single month I usually move it out. And yeah, I think it got to like £37 at the end of December, or at the end of November. And then I have a savings account with Chase as well, which I think the interest rate is like around 3.8%. It was the best savings account at when I got the account, but now it's not. I don't think it is the best, but I'm like with most people, I'm kind of lazy and moving it out, but it's around 3.8%. But 3.8% is pretty good. I usually give myself around £500 sort of spending money. And then I have a small balance in my Chase roundup account. And then, well, recently I have about £7,000 in my savings account, which will be probably moved to investing towards the end of March next year. But it's currently sitting at £7,000 because I sold my car recently. So I sold my car for about £5,000. As you can see, it does fluctuate quite a bit, my savings, mainly because it gets moved around. I'll put money in investing, or I'll use it to pay for certain things. Like when I moved to London recently, that's why I sold my car. I moved to London recently and had to buy a few things when I moved into a flat. So you can see my savings went down slightly the last few months, but then I sold my car and it's back up. And it's actually the highest I've had in savings for quite a while. My savings before were between my current account and my Lloyd's savings account, which is like, as you can see, it's like £7,000 before. But I don't really like keeping high amounts of savings. I don't need that much savings. I don't have a great deal of things that I need to pay for. I've got rent and stuff like that, but I don't need to really worry about having loads in savings. Then my next few, I have a money box ISA, which again, I used to have money in. I was putting my money in a lifetime ISA, but then I took all of it out and I put that into either investing or savings. Then I also have a Monzo savings account, which I did used to have money in as well, because the savings rate was quite good. But again, that money has since moved, so that's sitting at zero. I also have a Help to Buy ISA, which did have money in. It did have more than £1,000 in at one point, but now that's sitting at nothing. I've kept it simply because I'm not sure if I will use a Help to Buy ISA at some point. I don't think you can get Help to Buy ISAs anymore, but I've kept it. I've kept money in it just so that it doesn't get shut down. And at some point, if I do want to use a Help to Buy ISA, I can. Then we come to my investing. So I have investing accounts with Freetrade and Trading 212. So up until April this year, I was using Freetrade, and then I switched over to Trading 212. But since Trading 212 hasn't allowed me yet to move all of my free trade account over to Trading 212, I've kept both of them alive, basically. I don't put any more money into free trade, and I put all of my investing money into Trading 212, but I have them both there. So let's take a look at them now. I have £12,500 in free trade and £9,400 roughly in Trading 212. I do also have a general investing account, but I actually started using that when I switched over just to do a quick test on Trading 212 to see that whether I liked it or not. I bought like £100 worth of Visa, and that's now sitting at like £120, but I don't know why I haven't moved it out. Just been sat there, to be honest with you. Yeah, and when we take a look at back in January 2022, that was basically when I started investing. I started investing in December of 2021, and you can see that my balance for my investing account has gone from £782 to now £21,900. So I've gained quite a bit in those 3 years since I began investing. I'm now up to £22,000, which is pretty good. Most of that is putting money in. I'm not going to go through in depth in this video what my portfolio is doing, but you can watch my other videos where I go through everything basically. So yeah, that's my investing. And that puts me at, that's the main bulk of my net worth is my investing accounts. And then I have, I did used to have premium bonds. I made a video recently where I talked about why I don't like premium bonds. I sold out of them in, looks like July, I believe, or June 2024. I was putting money in a bit every single month, got up to £750, and I never made any money from it. And I thought it'd probably be better for me to just take the money out and put it elsewhere, which is what I did. And I don't really regret that. I think premium bonds are for specific people with a lot of money or people with a lot of spare cash who go over their ISA limit every single month. Oh, sorry, every single year. But watch the video that I made just because I discussed the different things why premium bonds are actually bad for regular people. And then I also have crypto. So I think like most people, I got into crypto in COVID, maybe pre-2020, 2019. I don't have a big holding. I basically put a few £100 into some rubbish coins a few years ago. I made a bit of money and I've just left it in there. So currently I have around £3,250, but as you can see, it's fluctuated quite a bit. So the start of 2022, it was 2,200, went up to 2,900, went down to 1,220, and then gradually over the last 18 months or so, it's been creeping up, and it now sits at £3,250. Most of my holding is in Ethereum. I have a small holding in Solana, and I don't really plan on selling it really unless it gets 10k or something. But I'm just leaving it there. I don't really see it as money that I really care about, because it basically started from a few £100s that I didn't really care about. So I started investing through eToro. I have nothing in there right now, but I think I invested like £500 into some crappy stocks when I first started investing, because I was testing out all the different platforms, and I left it in there. I got absolutely dumped on by some stocks, and then I just eventually sold out of it because I was like, I'm not going to make this money back. These companies are not very good. And I was right there. I think Zoom was one of the companies that I bought into. So yeah, ended up being like 250 quid, sold out of it, put some into investing, put some into premium bonds, as you can see here. And you can see at the top, this says total, not including crypto. And it also doesn't include the eToro balance as well, simply because it was money that I didn't really care about at the time. I do look at the total without crypto because it doesn't matter as much to me, even though now £3,000 is quite a bit of money. It's something, that has basically come from nothing. Before I reveal what my net worth actually is, I don't own property, I rent. I do have student debt, but in the UK, it's not as inflicting on your life as it is in the US, simply because it does get written off at some point. I don't really see the student debt that I have as an issue. At some point, I'd like to just get rid of it, but it's not really that big of a deal. I don't even look at my student debts. That's how unimportant it is in my life, simply because it doesn't, I can't pay off. I could probably put all of my money into it and potentially get most of it down, but I can't pay off that money without totally liquidating everything. It doesn't affect my life really at all. I don't really think about it. I think I looked at my student loan balance once in the last 2 years. This total here is my total net worth. The value is £33,532. So my net worth is £33,532. Now, this was at the start of December. It's now the end of December, but I haven't done my expenses tracking this month, so I haven't looked at my bank accounts at the end of the month to add up the totals. But as you can see by this graph, over the last 2 years, it's actually grown quite a bit. So at the start of 2022, it was around, let's move this out of the way. It was around £12,900. It dropped a bit at the start of 2022 to around £8,700. And now we're up to £33,000, which is pretty good. I'll be honest with you. I'm pretty happy with the amount of money that I have on me. Like, it's all pretty liquid as well. I don't have property. I don't own a car anymore. And it's something that I've been working on quite a bit, like saving money and investing money, working on like good financial habits. I think around like 2020, 2021 was where I started earning enough money to save. I didn't really have very good spending habits. I was spending a lot of money. I wasn't really saving a lot of money. And using this tracker was a way for me to be good with my money. I also track my expenses. I'm not going to go through all of that in this video, but feel free to pause the video. You can see that I track my expenses across all of these different criteria since September 21. It's good for me to do that, to be able to see what I'm spending every single month. You know, I'm not great with my spending. I probably spend more than I should, but I save more than I need to. And I think I'm pretty good with my spending now. My net worth is £33,500. £22,000 of that is made up of investing. £3,250 of that is made up of crypto. And around about £7,500 is made up of savings. What do you think about my net worth? Do you think I am poor? Was it worth me making this video? Do you even care? That is the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Any suggestions on improvements to the video content or ideas for content going forward, then please give me a comment below and I will give you a reply. Thank you.